Alright, Max. Welcome to the lesson.
Thank you, sir.
I thought we could start off with a little head joint work.
Okay.
Start off with the closed end. So we'll have our hand over the end of the tube. And what interval will that produce?
A 12.
12. Because it is a
Closed tube.
closed tube. Yes. Alright, so I just want you to just focus on making this a nice, clear, full sound. There you go. Yeah, good. Careful not to use too much of an unfocused aperture. That's where you get that air sound. There you go. Alright, so now articulate.
I can actually see myself in here.
Yeah, and now we're just going to work on a couple of the octaves, or technically the 12th, sorry. My bad. Alright, so get the first pitch nice and solid, and then roll that outer lip up to produce the 12th. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be a little trickier because you're used to, when you roll out the lip, it just going up an octave, because that's what it is when we play the open tube, the normal flute. But since it's a 12th, you're used to rolling out that octave, but it's farther than this. That's why that tone was becoming a little split. But as soon as you got that pitch in your head, and your muscles kind of take over a little bit for that.
Okay.
Let's do it open now, so it'll produce an
It's a lot harder.
It is a lot harder to get the initial tone. Let's just see what we can do. Yeah, it's alright if we can't get it to jump. Let's just try and get the initial tone. And focus on it nice and resonant. So what did you do differently at the beginning there to get that fuller, richer sound?
I thought about narrower aperture.
A little bit of a narrow aperture. If we focus that airstream, the sound fills out. It's common when we're beginning flute to use a little too much air, and that's why we get that, it's kind of sound, especially in the upper register where the air is moving so fast and that aperture has to be so tiny to get it to focus. But we don't. If all that hissing is excess air being wasted away, and not that full focus on it. You can hear it pretty clearly when you lose that airiness and it just kind of is that nice rich sound. That's what we're going for. All right, let's assemble the flute and play a few scales to begin our daily exercises. Let's start with your G scale, nice and easy. Let's do it in half notes. Let's do it first slur. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. a couple little finger things. So it was that E, F sharp, and G up at the top. Let's just do D. Let's do the D major tetrachord. So we'll do half of D, E, F sharp, G. All right. 1, 2, ready, go. All right. That was good. You remember the rule for not getting those little remember which direction your fingers need to lift from when we're ascending? Go the opposite way. You need to lift from the opposite way that our fingers are actually lifting up. Since we're lifting up this way, we need to lift up in that order so we avoid that. Because if we do, if we just lift up our fingers normally, it's going to run up the scale. Every time we lift the tone hole, we go up in that pitch. And so it's a little tricky. Yeah, that's going to be the tricky one. If you do it that way, that one's going to speak, and then that one's going to speak. But yeah. Let's try it again. Let's do the D tetrachord in half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. So you lift this one first and then that one.
This one, the first finger first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Let's do the whole scale one more time. Let's try tonguing it this time. Remember, the tonguing on flute is very, very gentle. Just a little interruption of that airstream. Since we have no resistance on this instrument to, help us, kind of aid in the tonguing. You get the reed and the resistance of the clarinet and the oboe, the tinier bore of the trumpet and stuff like that. Offers us a little bit of assistance. In flute, we get none of that. That airstream has to remain so consistent, and the tongue just kind of flips in the way of it. So let's try the G scale tongue in half notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. So what do you think you did on when that note kind of exploded out and produced the upper tone?
I must have changed something in maybe just too much air.
I would think it would be just a little bit too much air, that articulation. When we're talking about, it's difficult, since each, pitch requires a specific airflow, it's difficult to keep it consistent and just really lightly interrupt it, especially at the initial attack. Always, it just is natural that it's going to be a little more explosive. This is such a, finicky instrument when it comes to articulation. It requires such a gentle tongue that initial tongue can be always a little, used to every other instrument, we can give it a little bit more at the beginning of that because we have that resistance. But this being, offering zero resistance whatsoever, we need to be very, very ginger with that tongue. All right, so I understand that you are going to be working on your flute comp, and I thought we could spend some time working on a few of these exercises. So let's start off with number 1. So let's take a look at it real quick. We're doing slurs between octaves. So, it is the embouchure adjustment. Bottom lip is moving out for that upper octave. You're not thinking faster air.
It's like head joint work, except for
yes, basically it is and now we got to go back to thinking in the octave, which is easier, to be honest, than thinking and hearing in 12s.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we don't want to be thinking, going. We don't want to be relying on the air. We want to be relying on the bottom lip moving forward and backward to control that.
I think when I played my solo, part of the reason I was having trouble is because I wasn't loose enough, really. Like I was having trouble with positioning and pushing it in towards my face.
Absolutely. And one of the hardest concepts to grasp in the flute embouchure is keeping these lips supple and relaxed while the corners are nice and firm. It's very easy. We're used to keeping the corners firm and also the embouchure firm. For brass playing especially, we have corners and firm lips. But for flute, it needs to be firm corners, and you need to be able to, with the corners firm, you can go like this, move your index finger back and forth on that lip while keeping the corner firm. And bottom lip as well. There you go. See that? It's really, it is kind of counterintuitive to other embouchure formations, especially brass instruments. That supple, relaxed lip surface with the corners being firm. That's one of the reasons why flute is so difficult.
I'm throwing corn right now too. So.
Yeah, that won't help as much. Yeah, that poo. You can feel, you should be able to move both the fleshy part of each lip with keeping those corners firm. Okay. So keeping that in mind, let's start off with this first exercise. We're going to go nice and slow at first and try and focus on getting just a really clean break between the two notes. It may be, take a little bit, a couple run-throughs to get there, but we'll go nice and slow. So about here. Maybe. So maybe 1, 2.
The first one to do though?
Yeah. Roll that bottom lip out, not use. It's there you go. How quietly can you play this G at a piano? Yeah, a little bit. You're relying on your hair. You can hear it. And that's common for almost every other wind instrument. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's that focus that we need, not the amount and speed of that air.
Maybe if I focus on not using as much breath.
Yeah, I mean, you're
support, but not as much.
Yes, the support. It's like playing quiet on oboe or something like that, or clarinet. You have your stomach and abdominal muscles are engaged very strongly, but that airspeed is not big. It's not a huge. Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot. There you go.
When I get to that one, I have some issue with the physicality of
the holding of it.
Yeah. That's when I end up pushing it in towards my lip
on that high C.
When I let go of the thumb kick.
And you can hear that sometimes when you're going for that higher note. It goes free move, free move, free. You can hear the air, pushing that note until it finally speaks. That's what we want to try to avoid. It's pretty difficult. It's not just something you can think about and do immediately, but being aware of it is the first step. There you go. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Let's go a little slower. Starting on the second measure, we'll just go dee da dee dee da dee. Okay. Sorry, singing the wrong note. 3 and 4 and. Yeah, final note first. There you go. 3 and 4 and.
Well, I was pushing the different keys too.
Yeah, let's hit the G sharp piano accent. Focus. Focus on the Okay. 3 and 4 and. That was much better on that C. That much, you even physically look more stable on that C. All right, let's skip number 2 for now. Let's move on to number 3. Play that chromatic scale. We'll stop here for now, but let's start on that high. That's all right.
Octave higher than that, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Is that right?
B flat.
Practice
some of the fingerings.
And knowing them well enough to go all the way through the whole four measures.
That's all right. That's all right. Let's go nice and let's just go note by note.
How much do you think they care about holding your breath, bro?
I don't think she wouldn't mind if you take a breath in the middle of the phrase. Yeah. I don't think so at all. But remember, when we're at the top, we don't want to think of because you're relying on that air and that volume. Right. To get that note to speak. Focus.
I should have a mirror with me at all times.
A mirror is an invaluable tool, especially for flute. and how much embouchure movement it takes. But roll out a little bit more. Focus. One more. How about the sound?
D flat is everything else.
D flat? Everything off except for
that.
Yeah. The C sharp. Yeah. Now let's try ascending. Starting on that C in third phrase C.
Does that first finger should be off, right? On a D sharp?
On the D sharp. First finger is off on the D sharp. Everything but that. Roll out. Focus. Yeah, it's a little tricky. Getting that focused of an airstream to get those higher notes is a little tricky. It just takes a little bit of practice. Let's work on some of these trill fingerings. Number 6 of the count. So you guys went through a little bit of the trill fingerings, correct?
Yeah, we did.
But not all of them? Or you went through all of them, I'm guessing?
Yeah, we probably did.
Probably did.
No, I have them written down.
So let's take a look at the first one, C to D. So let's finger our C.
She's just listening.
So we're going to use a sliver key on the.
Oh, it's this one.
It is, yep.
Oh, it's not that one. This one?
Okay. That sounds like a minor third.
Yeah. Maybe it's the middle one. Get it down.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's my bad. Alright, let's take a look at C sharp to D sharp. So, and that will be another one of the sliver keys on the right hand, but the other one. So, C sharp first.
Wait, C sharp. D, C, C. C sharp is everything.
Yep, except for. Yeah, there you go.
That's the one, right?
Yeah. Let's do a nice. Let's just try and play that measure in a nice rhythmic.
Okay.
16 now. So let's just do the third measure for now. Just that C sharp to D sharp. All right. 3 E and 4. Yeah, there you go.
It's that one. It's the middle one. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna write this stuff in as well.
I actually have a pencil with me.
It's funny one of those is almost a.
You got one. We're all over the place.
So let's see, 2. Well, actually, I don't know.
We'll just keep going. Okay, so since we're running a little low on time, let's go D to E. So.
Which is
That is standard finger. You're just lifting your third. Yeah. Now E to F sharp. What do we lift for F? There you go.
Okay.
That's just another,
Kind of standard, yeah.
kind of standard fingering. All right. F sharp to G sharp.
This one again?
Just guess. Where's our G sharp key?
This one.
Yeah.
Ah.
So you can keep that third finger down for the F sharp. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I want to just practice my higher octave.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what I have to do.
That's where we're going, Robert.
Okay. No, keep going. I remember those.
No, you can write them. Absolutely.
Well, the only one I'm only going to write the ones in that are
already sliver keys or special trill fingers. All right. Now A to B.
Standard.
This is standard fingering. Roll out a little more. Focus. The abdominal muscles supporting that string. There you go.
You know what I actually did? I rolled the flute this way a little bit.
A little bit. It opened up. You know what? I kind of noticed that you
centered.
Yeah, you kind of were angry. The bottom lip, yeah, it looks like the flute was not lining up completely parallel with the bottom. And we got the mirror right there, and now you got no excuses. But yeah, I think that jumped out immediately as way clearer. It sounded, yeah. You try that again.
That was A to B.
That was A to B.
Yeah, so I got to mess around with this a little bit.
You can, yeah. With this, the delicate balance of the flute embouchure takes into account all the angles. But you can always, know that this mouth plate is where your chin rests, or where the, just outside of your bottom lip is resting. That needs to be parallel with this parallel. Those two surfaces need to be parallel. So it'll be tricky for you to see, maybe looking down at a mirror so you can see the angle. It's a little tricky to look at, just front on to see it.
Yeah, it's true.
But also you can do a little bit of, you can just do what you did before. And if you feel like that may be the issue of getting your sound to open up, just kind of slowly adjust and listen. Use your ears till that sound opens up. You've heard it immediately.
Yeah, there's
such a huge difference. Yeah, and you could tell when you went too far and the sound kind of, lost again. All right, let's go C to D. We're going another sliver key.
So C is both of these.
That will be that. Yep.
Wait, no, C is just one.
It is one in the D sharp key. There you go. That was
the same as this one.
Yes, it is. C to D, C to D. Remember, it's, our open tubes are built in octaves.
Right.
And same fingering is going to apply, that same sliver key is going to apply on that upper trill as it does on the lower trill. So if we jump over to this one, what do you think the fingering is going to be?
That's
C sharp to D sharp.
Yeah.
Actually, this is going to be a tricky one. Yes, this one changes. We need to, so play your high C sharp. There you go. Now you're going to depress both. There you go. That was much more focused.
Yeah.
There you go. You're going to depress both of the sliver keys.
Yeah, the slivers.
Yes, it's both the sliver keys on the right hand for that one.
I guess all the trophies are right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. High D to E. This is just lifting the third finger of your left hand.
So high D is like this.
Yes. First finger off, thumb.
And I just
Two
lift
to
my third
three.
finger.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. The notes. We're right here in the. There you go. Much better. Much better. Yeah.
I'm used to that.
In a half-hour lesson, we're basically getting to the point in time where we're nice and warmed up right now. Right now, so notes are going to be speaking a little easier, and you're also figuring these things out as you go on. I've always been a firm believer that we have powerful brains and we can use self-analysis and use our ears and physical changes associating with the sounds changing on the instrument to determine how to adjust to get the better sound.
Mm-hmm.
We have, at this point in time in our careers as musicians, we have ears that can discern a full tone, a rich tone versus an airy tone, out of tune, in tune, resonant, not, all these things. We can use our ears and slight adjustments, oral cavity shape, thinking of a different vowel shape. Enos always talks about those vowel shapes are incredibly important in shaping the sound of any wind instrument. Take any wind instrument with a vowel shape, and that tone is going to be super, pinched off and tight. And you think opens up that sound. All these different factors can influence the sound of the instrument, and we have ears that can figure that out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. When we have the time. All right, we got 3 minutes left or so. I would like to do some sight reading. Says. Oh no.
I'm guitarist.
Yeah, how do you get a guitarist to stop playing? Yeah, right? With the sheet music in front of him. Oh, you know what?
No, I'm actually decent. I can sight read on the fiddle. I can sight read on the guitar pretty well.
It's a little trickier.
Yeah.
Let's just do this first phrase of this. Just take a look at it real quick. I'm sure you got it. Maybe somebody played it in the technique class, so it isn't technically sight reading, but for all intents and purposes. And we're gonna go nice and Alright.
That's the right D, right?
Yep. So I'll give you 3 beats. And just we'll do our best, alright?
Yeah.
We're gonna just try to keep going, alright, unless we have a colossal meltdown. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, it's in cut time, but we're gonna be playing it in 4. So 1, 2, 3. F sharp.
Oh man.
Oh, come on. Boom, boom, boom. What articulation is that? I don't think B, yeah. Boom, boom. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, C sharp. Alright. Let's start from here, and we're going to go nice and slow. Boom, 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 boom. So, 1, or 3, and 4, and. Sorry, so B. minor. B, C sharp, D. C sharp, okay. That's not the jump. Get that D to speak. D sharp. Good job. All right. C sharp. Hey, we made it. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you very much, Max. This was a good, enjoyable lesson.
Yeah, thanks for the